Great. Hello. How are you? So glad you can make it. It is really so wonderful to see everybody today. And everybody there. And my cat and my recorder. Beautiful. I have the camera. Beautiful. How are you? Hey, this is Kate with DANUS CELTIC WORLD. Good to see you. Good to see you. We had a long week this week, getting my son into college, finishing up exams for my students as well. We had a long day today, and we're about to come down and relax. Thank goodness, right? Not an easy thing to do. So let's get to it. Today I pulled a card this morning and it came up to me. Actually, it was so funny because I thought, oh my gosh. But I got 222 for my angel number today, which is actually fantastic because that's just second house. Second house was money is great right now because we still have and we will have Jupiter going through Leo from the 26th of July until July 27th, 2027. So we're going to have a lot of opportunities. We're going to have, each of us individually see expansion and growth and confidence with ourselves as the year goes on. It's going to be wonderful. Lots of questioning opportunities, questioning where we're going to take these opportunities, this luck, this abundance, this expansive growth, this higher thinking and abundance that's coming each of our ways. But in different ways, abundance can not just be money. Second house. Second house also pertains to, not only income, but routines and values and material possessions. We can obtain things through that, through inheritance, through raising your job, through good work ethics, and gaining more higher positions within your job and those things. Um, Also, this morning that came up was the Ace of Wands, creativity, courage, optimism. Again, ambition and ambition. I love it because Wands is all about passion and, and creativity and lifestyle and purpose and the things that we want to do for ourselves that keep us aware of the lifestyle and purpose we want to have in our lives. Transformation, the birth of new things when it comes to the Ace of Wands, because it's fire, career, then passion, representing Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, you know, ruled by Leo and Venus, and, Sagittarius, Jupiter, and Aries with that Mars. Mars loves to go fast, so this year is going to go mighty fast. It's already started. It's already there. And I love my crystal. I can meditate on that while I'm reading. And we have today, the 9th, for the next Central Standard Time, so for the next 30 minutes or so, and it's going to be there for a while. It's not going to just walk off and go, okay, Venus is no longer in Virgo, but Venus is in Virgo today. And the question today is this reality? Does does How does this impact the value, my value of things in this life? How does Venus entering Virgo add to the value of my life right now? To the things that are currently occurring in my life right now, in our lives right now. And that's so important. We have, with Venus entering Virgo, this is all about self worth. This is going to be Venus entering Virgo is going to be from today, July 9th, all the way to August 6th. And it's, we need to have practicality, discernment, how we see things, how we look at things within our lives, how we service ourselves, how we take care of ourselves in servicing our bodies, health, um, helping others, helping the people that we love, and our financial disclosures and our financial planning, planning for our future. Virgo is all about planning, being detailed, being having routines, being hardworking. Virgos are very big perfectionists when it comes to planning, you know, and we want to realize that this discipline with finance is going to be very important at this time for the next month, from the 9th today until August 6th. How we do these things from this time is very important. And with Jupiter in the mix with Leo, this is going to give a lot of people a lot of luck with finances, especially the water signs, because we also have Mercury in retrograde until the 23rd of July. But if we add on that shadow period, because there's always that shadow period, a little bit after even Mercury starting to wane out of Cancer and no longer be in its retrograde phase, Cancer, it's going to go to, I want to say about August 9th with that Mercury retrograde. I would be cautious with that because Mercury rules communication, third house matters, technology, cars, things need to be fixed, contracts, anything that has to do with communications, texting, phones, computers, technology, cars, um, communicating in contracts, communicating with verbally non-negotiable, negotiable instruments between business partners that were love and matters of the heart and matters with business. Those things are very important, and with the Mercury still being in retrograde this July, it's going to last for quite some time. It's, it's not going to just walk away and say, okay, it's July 23rd, we're done. No, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. No, this is going to be a period in which I recommend cautiousness, much cautiousness. Let me move my mouse over here. Much cautiousness, okay? Be mindful, be careful with communication again. This time around, now that we're kind of getting into it, you know, I want to say, since this started, it's going to be going for a while with this Mercury still retrograde. I'm more worried about miscommunicating because everybody's really moving fast with Mercury, and miscommunications can occur. We need to be clear, concise, professional, precise when we're conducting serious personal business, or like I said, conversations, negotiable instruments, if we're in law or in business or in partnerships, if we're in investment banking, if we're selling stocks, if we're working on Wall Street, if we're working with contracts, if we're working with our students, if we're working at the college level, if we're working on our master's or doctorate degree. I'm so glad I'm finished with all that. But if some of you still are, even if you're graduating, from business school, getting your MBA, or you just finished your bachelor's degree, be cautious about the way things are and AI and the way we communicate, and make sure we check, double check, triple check, and if we have something that's in writing or that has to do with contractual, bilateral contractual agreements, make sure we triple check those things so that we're covering third house matters in Gemini pertaining to its ruling planet, Mercury, because Mercury is in retrograde with Cancer. And this 6 months going forward, a lot's going to be going on in the water signs because we're going to have a Pisces new moon. And then we're going to, on the 29th, go into the full moon, which is going to happen. And that is also going to be a lot. I'm going to put my phone here. Yes, here. And that's going to also be a lot going on. With that full moon, it is going to be it's going to be very powerful, very, very intense full moon. And we're going to have that because we've got the Mercury Cazimi right now coming up this weekend. We've got Venus and Virgo. That's beautiful. That's like having the ultimate romance, the ultimate love potion, the ultimate, puppy love you. Let's give me a kiss, my darling. But then on July 12th, we're going to have that Mercury Cazimi in Cancer at 20 degrees. But we're going to talk about that on Friday because I'll be here tomorrow to talk about that Mercury Cazimi this weekend and Saturday on the 11th. This is the heart of the sun, the heart of the star, sun, clarity in the middle of this retrograde Mercury and Cancer, and it's a powerful day for insight, intuition, communication, individual mind. Mercury rules Gemini. Gemini rules the mind. Gemini is also air sign, communication, intellectual expression. Swords is a tarot card, air card. It's all about the mind, intellectual, communication, getting along, being able to collaborate, communicate, get your thoughts out there, be thorough, be detailed oriented, you know, think about engage brain before mouth, those kinds of matters. This is sage and a little bit of time is going to kind of cleanse the air here while I'm talking to you and cleanse my office as well. And this also is going to spotlight the new moon in Cancer, you know, and we have coming up next month, we're going to have the new moon in Pisces. We have a lot of water signs going on. So we've got this month is the new moon in Cancer on July 14th, but next month we're going to have the new moon in Pisces. It's a lot of water. Mercury, Cazimi, Mercury retrograde in Cancer, Venus in Virgo. And then, of course, next week, we've got the barbell casket. It's an ultra rare alignment, 4 degrees with all 4 planets, Jupiter and Leo, opposing Pluto and Aquarius, sextile Neptune and Aries, starting Uranus and Gemini. That's a major shift happening and predicting major lives. 4 planets, 4 degrees, all equal. Okay? And in the middle of that barbell basket, or, as they say, is a trine, which is harmonious. Her trines are harmonious. They create harmony and grounding energy. And everything falls together. And we see that. And it's so beautiful. And with this Cazimi, 20 degrees in Cancer, in the middle of this retrograde on the 12th, it's going to make for a very, very powerful, powerful day. Lots of insight again. I want to say, it's going to bring out a lot of spirituality, a lot of karmic things that we need to reassess, rethink, intuition, a lot of, especially for the water signs, walking into the room and feeling the energies. The energies are going to be strong on this weekend. This is not going to be a joke, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be for real. So if you're not taking this seriously, we need to address that and we need to take it seriously. We need to take it seriously. I love my amethyst. We need to take this seriously. Not messing around. We also still have the moon in Taurus. It's it's left, it's finally permanently there. We want stability right now, focusing on, our earning our money, how, you know, we money diving deep into, your career, prestige, you know, precision, focus, working with yourself, working with your body. First is also about loves to eat good food, loves practicality, loves comfort, loves sensuality, loves to be grounded and have stability and self worth. For earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, they love to save their money. They're big savers, you know, service of health and discipline and good work ethic. Those things are going to really go. This is going to be there for a long, long time, you know. And Taurus is also keeping the balance between work and home life, having having that balance every day, making sure that we're keeping our our home life good, our work life good, making sure we're balancing our income and our finances. What's our values and our priorities? Keep having good habits with our families, with ourselves, with our animals, with the moon still being in Taurus, you know, you know, make sure that we are being consistent with the moon in Taurus, watching our communications, watching our technology, including our cell phones, watching how we use our individual mind, our reasoning, our intellect with the Mercury in retrograde. These are all good things that are coming through. Venus entering, Virgo is like very romantic. It focuses on Venus. Venus's focuses on romance and beauty, how we look, how our faces. We might even want to go out and make ourselves more handsome, more beautiful, be more refined, with Venus and Virgo, be more dressed up, you know, having more pleasure, more making love, finding love, more kissy huggy, touchy feeling, expressing ourselves with this Mercury and retrograde Cancer with emotions and expressions. This is beautiful, the need to have that practicality and coming down to earth with the moon and Taurus, with ourselves, with our loved ones. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Venus in alignment. I love this with Regulus. In this waning crescent moon at this point, because we don't have our new moon until July 14th, which is coming up next week on Tuesday. So it's not too far. And then we have the Kazimi starting this weekend. It actually always starts a little bit earlier, of course, and we're probably all feeling it. I know I'm feeling the Kazimi now, and I'm very much feeling this Mercury retrograde. For me, it started a long time ago. I was kind of cognizant of it back in June. So Regulus is, Venus, the fifth house planet of love and alignment tonight with Regulus, the heart of Leo. So if you look in your telescope, if some of you have that in the next few days, and this only happens, well, this is for a while. This occurs every 8 years or four. When the connections are really, really close, it happens. And in the middle of the 472 years, it happens every 4 years, sometimes four within the 8 years. The conjunctions between the planets need to be incredibly like barely touching each other, really close by. Then there's a span between that from start to end in that series. But this won't happen again for a long time because it takes hundreds of years for this to happen. Although it does happen within an 8 to 4 year time frame, this energy is all about. We're talking about Regulus is the hook, the question mark sign inside the star of Leo, and it's upside down. It's upside down. So it's just like, instead of it being a question mark with a dot, take it upside down, and it's like this, upside down, within the Leo star constellation. It's really beautiful. And it's north of Venus aligning tonight with Regulus in the fifth house planet of love. And all this energy with Venus and Virgo, and Virgo's a planner, Mercury, communication. This is all about love and expression. I'm hoping that everyone that's partnered up or wants to be partnered up or is single looking for love, if you're single and you go out with some friends, go meet new people, it doesn't have to be romance right away. Take your time to get to know the people you're with because that's the best way to understand whether or not you're in the right environment with the right people or you're meeting the right people. Or if you're partnered up, make sure that you just use that heartfelt, passionate expression and don't be afraid to show your heart, show your feelings. Water signs are all about feelings. Cancer is all about feelings, ruled by the moon. Scorpio is all about, being able to sense it, to see right through you, that could see the true you. Pisces is all about the dream and the mushy dreams and illusions. This is a great time to meet, to communicate, talk, to plan. I'm talking about all the planets. I'm talking about stability, security, self worth, self respect, health, taking care of health, taking care of beauty, taking care of your business, taking care of your bodies. This is this is all about with all of these planets coming together. And then we're going to have the basket next week, and we're going to have the Kazimi this weekend. And it's just a ton of planets coming together to build harmonious, harmonious women. We've got some trines in there. You know, we may have a sextile here and there. Sextiles aren't so bad. They're harmonious energies too. They're a little slow. Um, I know we may have a quincunx that's coming up that's 150 degrees apart, in some instances, and that's going to be with Neptune's retrograde, and then with that, Pluto as well coming up. That's where that little bit of quincunx can come in because Pluto, and although Pluto is Hades, and Pluto is really rules Scorpio, and Mars does too a little bit, but Mars traditionally rules Aries, but Pluto is a ruler of Scorpio, the traditional, and with that all being water signy and everything, it could be that quincunx because Scorpio communicates very differently than Neptune does, and the quincunx it represents having a hard time understanding each other naturally. So if you run into Scorpio and you're a Pisces, you might have to work on that expression, that communication that I've been talking about with Mercury, expression and Cancer and Pisces, and just ground yourself like Taurus, keep yourself stable, have stability, be patient like Venus and Taurus, and plan your days out like like Virgo does. And you should be fine. Be careful of communications and miscommunications because we still have Mercury retrograde and with Regulus, that upside down question mark that you should be able to see in the constellation of Leo. It's all about romance and passion, baby. For all of you that are subscribing to my channel, this is the time. If you're ready to fall in love, if you're ready to meet new people, even if you just want to meet new friends, if you are looking to make connections, whether it's personal or business, this is the time to do it. Also, with Jupiter in Leo till July 2027, from now, let's say from today, July 9th, all the way until August 9th, it's a really good time between July 8th, 9th, which is today, until about the 14th, when we have the new moon in Cancer, the super new moon in Cancer, from around the July 14th, 14th or 15th, depending on where you are in the world. That's super new moon in Cancer. Between now and that super new moon in Cancer is a really good time to be playing with that super new moon in Cancer and Regulus in Virgo and Venus for planning and Jupiter in Leo, good luck, expansion, abundance, and Mercury retrograde, it's in Cancer. That has to do more with emotions and communication because Mercury is communication and Cancer is emotions. Right now, I would say from now until about the end of Friday. Wednesday is the 15th. But I'm going to say I'm going to give it to Friday of this coming week, which is going to be the 17th. Okay. And the 17th, I believe, yeah. I would say between now and the 9th, Thursday the 9th, until next Thursday the 16th. Because the new moon is on the 13th. I'm sorry, the new moon in Cancer, the super new moon in Cancer is on the 14th, 15th, depending on where you are in the United States or within the world. It's a really good time. And I'm not saying everybody's going to win, but I'm saying I'm feeling because of the luck and the connections with planets and the connections with the communication and expression and money and Jupiter and abundance and expansion and use of the mind and groundiness. And many people, if you go out and buy some scratch offs and go out and pick some numbers, the Mega Million or the Powerball, I wouldn't be surprised if some of you actually went out there. And I'm not saying anybody's going to be a millionaire, but I'm going to say that there's a lot of luck out there in the planets that could possibly, for many of the water signs especially, there's a lot of luck for winning or gaining extra money pertaining to, water signs, Venus, Neptune, yeah, Mercury, Cazimi, Cancer. The 4 planets we have next week: Jupiter, Leo, Aquarius, Neptune, Aries, Gemini. Like I said, Uranus and Gemini. We've had that triangle, Uranus and Gemini, for a long time. It entered February 17th. I'll never forget that because that was a big change in my life. And when they said that Uranus entered Gemini and there was going to be upheaval and make changes in people's lives, it sure did for me. And we're going to have at the end of the month, just letting you know, after Mercury stations direct in Cancer on the 23rd, past confusions and frustrations are going to start to clear up, but there's still the turning points and important decisions that have to be made during the shadow period between the July 26th, I'm sorry, July 23rd and July 26th. And I say that because on July 26th, we have the nodes, the north node and the south node. The north node known as the dragon's head or the karmic future, and the south node known as the dragon's tail. The south node is the karmic shift of fate in your karmic past. North node, karmic future, are going to be shifting from Pisces and Virgo to Aquarius and Leo. And we'll talk about that this weekend as well. But I want everybody to have a heads up, and then we're going to have another Kazemi. We'll talk about July 12th this weekend. We'll talk about the Mercury Kazemi and your 20 degrees of Cancer. We're going to have another Jupiter Kazemi at the end of the month on July 29th when we have the full moon in Aquarius. But if you can keep all that marked on your calendar, we're going to be talking about that for the next week and a half or so. And I will be here again tomorrow night for all of you to talk about those things that are just really the July astrology is so powerful, so strong, so beautiful. And I just want everybody to mark on their calendars the points that I depicted and talked about and discussed. And we'll go more into that tomorrow, as well as Saturday. Saturday, the 11th and 12th, is when we have. Actually, it's already because he's here because transits take a while. Everybody thinks a transit's like, oh, okay, the planet's moving, boom, it's there. No, planet takes time to move. It's not like a car where it moves fast, you know. It's not a Jaguar. It's not going to go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in a few minutes. That doesn't work that way. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do an element reading. I'm going to pull cards for the four elements, discuss it, and then we'll pull a card for spirit. And if there's any clarifiers, then we'll go over that. I will pull a karmic card, a love card, and I will pull a numerology card. I hope you saw that. A karmic card, a love card, and a numerology card. I will pull a spirit card for the middle because earth, air, fire, water, spirit. If we're doing the protection for pentacle, going that's how we'll go earth, air, fire, water. Earth signs will be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Air signs, I'm an air sign as well. Gemini rising. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Fire signs will be Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. Water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. My water babies. So first I'm going to sorry about that. There's some more crystals and like that. I'm going to put out here my chakra. This is my spell work tarot, my spellcaster's tarot. Yeah. And I'm going to shuffle them for you. And oh, too many came out. I was about to pick that up and go, nope, can't do that. Okay. All right. Earth signs. Let's get it on. And let's talk about what we have here. All right. So, Earth signs. First sign you have is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is all about balancing priorities. This is a Jupiter and Capricorn card. Okay? Jupiter and Capricorn. Capricorn rules the 10th house, career. That's wonderful because Jupiter is in Leo. Jupiter is abundance. This is wonderful for you, Earth signs. Jupiter rules abundance, growth, expansive growth, higher thinking, higher education. The Two of Pentacles, upright, is about balancing priorities, balancing your life, your health, your wealth, your happiness, because Pentacles is an earth sign, and you have earth on your earth sign. This is Jupiter and Capricorn. Capricorn is also an earth sign. So this is beautiful. You've got Pentacles for earth. You have Jupiter and Capricorn. Capricorn. With Jupiter, this card being Jupiter and Capricorn, this is good for you as well. It's very productive and positive for you for expensive growth, luck and abundance for all earth signs. Luck and abundance is prevailing here for you in earth. Very lucky. Again, this is a Jupiter and Capricorn card, balance and priorities. Okay. Let's move over to air. For air signs, I have my, this is the spellcaster's deck. Okay. I have here another crystal, which is Tarot's deck. I have two of these, by the way. So I have spellcaster, and we also have two, which is Tarot's deck, by two different authors and two different writers. This is called Celtic Witches Tarot deck, and the other one I have is just the plain Witches Tarot deck. But I'm going to use this for my air signs, and this is great for you. Air is all about the mind. Okay, don't overwhelm. The cards are stuck together. And that's what I thought. The person on cards for the personality. Kidding. Okay. Okay. Let's see. We have beautiful Nine of Pentacles for air. Nine of Pentacles is a beautiful card. This is all about money, honey. And Pentacles, again, earth, material world, money, wealth, happiness. Deck over here, representing air signs. Money, health, happiness. This is beautiful. You can't get any better than this. I mean, seriously. Okay. This is abundance. And this isn't abundance like somebody gives it to you. And this is why I really like this card, because the nine of pentacles is joy, luxury, and independence. You know why? Because the nine of pentacles represents luxury and independence, because it is representative that the person in this card made their own money. They worked hard. They made their money. This card represents Earth as well. And this card is, believe it or not, no bullshit. This rep card You can look at it online. I'm sure it's got to be on there somewhere. This card is an earth element card. The Nine of Pentacles represents joy, luxury, independence from making money, from your hard work, from your reaping what you sow, from you independently making your bonds, from you independently making your putting money in your savings account, from you independently paying your bills, making your own business, being an entrepreneur, getting her done, making your own money, making yourself have luxury, good possessions, wonderful things, having independence, having happiness. This earth card also represents uh, uh, Venus and Virgo because make your own money and be a successful entrepreneur, hard worker, has a plan, how they do their work, how they manage their work, how hard they work, how detailed they work ethics, work hard, practicality, security, getting grounded, being the person that doesn't stop being detail oriented, planning, having routine, daily routine, and status in life and career, and being disciplined to make prosperous, prosperous achievements. This Nine of Pentacles is all about joy and luxury, independence. Venus in Virgo, Earth sign card, Nine of Pentacles, right here on today for July 9th. We actually have the Nine of Pentacles, which represents today's astrology, Venus and Virgo. This rocks, this kicks, this kicks butt. Love it. For those of you that are air signs, all of you have that intellect, the intellect, emotional maturity, the intellectual maturity to be, to produce, being the Nine of Pentacles, being your entrepreneur, working hard, working diligently, being detail oriented, having routines, setting expectations high, and not settling for anything less than having achievements being brought into your life. This is wonderful for all of you air signs that are of the mind, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Beautiful card. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, for our fire signs, yay, I have my dragon tarot. Save this one for you guys, you fire signs. Each of you can see. Oh, great. Hope that didn't break my mouse. Let's see. Okay. All right. All right. Fire. Dragon tarot. Fire. Wands. Career. Ambition. Passion. Fire. Leo. Sagittarius. Aries. Leo ruled by Venus, Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, Aries ruled by Mars. Let's see what we got going for all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight. And when I'm done with the reading, I, of course, as I always do, I will put the camera down closer of you to see the cards better. It's easier to see it when you can take notes, when you're hearing what I'm saying about it. Okay. We have just reached 2:08 a.m. Central Standard Time. Happy Friday. For those of you that are here or may not be here, let's see what we got. Fire signs. Oh, shit. Wow. We have the Nine of Wands. Okay. fire signs, you have the Nine of Wands. Beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see, get it closer. Try to get that closer. Yeah. The Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is no joke. The Nine of Wands, you don't play games. I don't care who you are. And the Nine of Wands is all about protecting yourself, your property, your family, protection, long journeys, moving forward. This is definitely the element of fire card. And we got wands, fire, wands are fire. In the tarot, wands are fire. Protection, protecting the wounded, protecting those on a long journey, protecting your employment, protecting your home, your family. This is the Nine of Wands, protecting. Now, in the Rider-Waite, you'll see this card, and he'll be. Let me put it back a little bit. It's a gentleman like this on the Rider-Waite, and he's standing behind him as it's like a fence. He's holding the ninth wand, but in the back, you can see all these people. They're holding their wands. They're protecting their lands. They're protecting their home. They're protecting the journey in life, which is very important. Everyone should be protecting their journey in life and setting up boundaries, protecting themselves, protecting their purpose in life, how they being aware of their life and the creativity that they're going through. This is also a very nice card because this is definitely a fire sign card. It represents the moon in Sagittarius. This is protection all the way across your life. Protecting your ambition, protecting your career. All of you should be doing that, and that's what I'm getting from each of you. Make sure you're setting up boundaries, fire sign. And not everybody needs to know everything about you. This is the moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarians are very private people. They love to travel. They love to be with people. They love to meet new people. And they are travelers. They are ones that like to journey. This is a Sagittarius, moon in Sagittarius card, a fire sign card. But this is also a card of protection, of protecting your journey in life, protecting your journey in your career, your ambition, your creativity, protecting the purpose in life and the family that stands behind you, that also protects you as you protect them in this journey of the Nine of Wands. Protection. Make sure you're setting, I'm going to say, the biggest thing about this card that I'm getting is setting good boundaries, protecting your background, protecting your, with everything, Mercury retrograde, protecting what you say, protecting your technology, protecting your car, protecting your mobile phone, protecting your personal information, protecting the journey that you have on the way to work in your car, protecting how you speak to others, whether it's through your phone or other communications or non-communications. Make sure we're not miscommunicating. Okay? Be cautious about your journey, especially if you're writing or signing any contracts. Again, I'll say it again. Make sure that you check, double check, and have someone triple check the content, the wording, the bilateral contractual agreement between the lessee, the lessor, the business, the owner, the mortgage broker, the business investment, the stock investment, stock ownership, whatever, everything you're buying. Make sure you're protecting your boundaries and setting boundaries for yourself and for your family through your journey in life. This is a great card. And I'm sure all of you are. Fire signs are very passionate. And my mom's a Sagittarius, so I know she likes to travel. She's very protective. She's definitely blunt, and she will tell you what's on her mind. There is no pause. If she feels something, and she can see right through you. Once she gets to know you, she won't say very much, but when she studies you, woo! If and gets to know you really well, you better watch out because her mouth will run and tell you exactly who she thinks you are. For sure. I would not mess around with that. Yeah. Okay. What are signs for you?